Am I supposed to know who that is? Why does the entire internet hate Tamlin? Reese? Am I understanding this correctly? Wrong. Like, that was a big mistake. I sound like such an idiot. Hello, my beautiful humans and my book besties. I am potentially the most excited I've ever been to film a vlog for a book because you guys have been wanting me to read this book for so long, and I've been wanting to read this book for so long. We're reading ACOTAR. It feels surreal because this book has seen 3 years worth of my TBR. I was talking about it in 2022, 2023, and here we are in August of 2024, finally getting to it. I am so behind. I feel like everyone in the world has read ACOTAR, but I brought this up in my Patreon group chat and a lot of people were like, I would buddy read it with you, and I was like, that is what I need. I need that accountability. So within the group chat, I created like a separate Instagram like DM chat. So people in my book club have been joining like this special mini book club, I guess, for ACOTAR. Super informal, just super casual and super fun. So definitely helping to keep me accountable for sure. And I've posted about it now. So now I feel like I really can't go back on my word. Like, I have started it. Like, I'm in it. We're doing it. When I say I'm in it, I'm not very far in it. I'm currently on chapter 5, like about to start chapter 5. I've been going back and forth between the physical copy and the audio. I feel like the graphic audio. I'm listening to the graphic audio on Audible, and I feel like that's helping me like get more into the world, and also reading it alongside the physical copy. Like, I'm sitting there like reading, but like having it read to me at the same time, if you know what I mean. Like, I have the audio in my ears, but I'm also looking at the words, and I feel like it's helping a lot with pronunciation, because I am somebody, if I don't know how to pronounce a name or a place or anything in a book, I'll just skim over it. Like, if I see a name that I don't know, I'll just like be like, oh yeah, it's that person. Their name in my brain is just like a dull humming noise. Like, I sound like such an idiot. I promise I'm not like a complete airhead, but if I don't know how to pronounce someone's name, I'll just like recognize that that's who it is without ever like defining them as a character, if that makes sense at all. Probably not. But the simple act of being able to pronounce the names right is helping me feel like I have a better understanding of the world and the characters and what's going on. So I'm not lost yet, which I feel like is my biggest fear when starting ACOTAR. Like, that was the biggest thing holding me off, aside from like the length of like the later books. You can maybe see them back here. I think the length of the series was intimidating to me, but most of all, I was afraid of being confused. We're on chapter 5 almost, and we're not confused yet. So slow but steady, and we're doing it. It's not a race, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But I did want to hop on and introduce, because I am going to be vlogging my experience with spoilers, because I feel like I'm the last person on this earth to be reading ACOTAR, so we're just going to talk about it. We're going to talk about everything. But I'm going to be vlogging my experience reading ACOTAR as a fantasy newbie, as a non-fantasy reader, and as someone who's been saying they will read this book for 3 dang years. Like, we're doing it. We're finally doing it. But that's really all the updates I have for you now. Like I said, I'm still super early in the book, so I don't have a ton of thoughts. Just like getting to know names and getting to know people. I'm not really into much of a plot yet, so I will keep you posted. I pinky swear. But that's where we're at for now. And I will talk to you when I get to read a little bit more and when I have more to say. My upper thigh only in my mind. Slipping, falling back into the hedge maze. Hello! Look who's making progress in ACOTAR. This girl is, I'm so proud of myself. I'm on page 130, chapter 15. And I'm not entirely lost. I'm not entirely confused, and that is exhilarating to me. I feel like I'm following the plot. We have Feyre, who shot a fairy, who she didn't entirely know was a fairy at the beginning of the book. She thought it was like a wolf, skinned it, sold it at the market, got in trouble by Tamlin, come to find out. Tamlin said because of the treaty, she either has to give up her life or she can come back to Prythian with him, and he offered to like keep her at his mansion, basically, like where he lives. I forget like exactly what it's called. A manor? No, they call it something. Essentially like his big mansion kingdom area. And we have Tamlin and Lucian. the names. I'm listening to the freaking graphic audiobook, so I get the names right, and they're still not entirely clicking, but I know who they are. It's the pronunciation that I'm working on. So I think we're supposed to like Tamlin because he like kind of stands up for her and like offers her a solution where she doesn't have to give up her life in order to like make amends for killing one of theirs. But I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all. I made the mistake when reading Fourth Wing that I like fell for the guy that was like painted as a nice guy from the beginning, and I was like, oh, he's gonna be the love interest. I love him. Dane, right? Dane. Wrong. Like, that was a big mistake. And now I feel like I'm carrying that knowledge with me into future fantasy reads, and I'm like, if it seems too good to be true, it's too good to be true. But that's basically where we're at right now. I don't trust anybody. I like Feyre, and I honestly like the little glimpses of Nesta that we got. She's like kind of a B word, but I like it. Like, I really vibe with it. And I think one of the later books is Nesta's full book. I can't remember, but I feel like I've seen people talk about how like one of them is Nesta's book, which I'm excited for. So I feel like I'm not super into like the depths of the plot. Like I said, I'm on page 130, chapter 15. So probably, what does that look like? Like a fourth of the way through? I don't know. I don't know how far into it I am. It looks decent-ish. I'm making progress, so that's great. But I feel like I'm not fully like into the heart of the story yet, so I don't have a ton of updates, but I will say this is a book I'm having to like embrace being like more slow and steady. I'm a total binge reader where if I start a book, I want to just like obsess over it and read it cover to cover. Like, I will read books so quickly when I get into them. And this is challenging me because I'm into it, but I can't read it that quickly because I have to reread in order to have the, what's the word? Comprehension. In order to have the comprehension that I need to keep track of the world and the characters and everything, I'm having to reread chapters, listen to chapters over again. Definitely a slower approach, but it's working so far because I feel like I'm not entirely lost. And I'm into it. Even though not a ton is going on yet, I'm into it. I'm invested. It's feeling like a fantasy world that I can actually enjoy and kind of embrace. So that's exciting to me. I also really love the writing. There's one part, let me try to read it to you. The writing in fantasy novels, eyes that were nothing more than swirling pits of milky white, the white of death, the white of sickness, the white of clean-picked corpses. Peeking above the ragged neck of its dark robes was a body of veins and bones, as dried and solid and horrific as the texture of its face. It let go of the snare, and its two long fingers clicked against each other as it studied me. Human, it said, and its voice was at once one and many, old and young, beautiful and grotesque. My bowels turned watery. What kind of writing? Like, the creativity of all authors, but fantasy authors, like the milky white of death, isn't that what it said? Like, I just like you're creating fully mythical creatures from scratch, and I have such a clear visual of what they look like. Pure magic. More power to you. I don't know how fantasy authors write fantasy, but it's impressive. But that is the update as of now. I'm done with work for the day, so I'm gonna go read some of this, maybe go for a walk and listen to some of the audio. I haven't entirely decided yet what I'm doing with the rest of my day, but that's where we're at as of now. I will definitely update when I have an update, for sure at the halfway point, but if something big happens before then, I'll try to remember to pick up my camera and touch base with you. But it's going well. I've made it past page 4, which is more than I can say for the last like 6 times I've tried starting this book. So we're into it now. There's no turning back, and I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to see where it goes. Hello, book besties. I am reading ACOTAR. I'm currently about 50% of the way through. I'm on chapter 24, page 212. And why does the entire internet hate Tamlin? When is someone going to tell me what I am missing? Right now, I love him. I love him. He, like, what a king. He's doing everything for Feyre. He's protecting her. He's there for her. He's loving. He's supportive. I see no flaws. This was such a lovely dream. I'd never slept so wonderfully before. So warm, nestled beside him. Calm, faintly echoing into my world of slumber, he spoke again, his breath caressing my ear. You're exactly as I dreamed you'd be, too. Darkness swallowed everything. I love him. What's wrong with him? Am I gonna hate him? I don't want to hate him. What can he be doing so wrong? I like him. I'm concerned. I'm gonna keep reading. I will update you in like 30 minutes. I want to sit here and read as much as I can. Stop. My father once told me that I should let my sisters imagine a better life, a better world, and I told him that there was no such thing. I never understood because I couldn't believe that it was even possible until now. And then she says, it was the happiest moment of my life. His throat bobbed. His kiss that time was deep and thorough, unhurried and intent. I let the dawn creep inside me, let it grow with each moment of his lips and his brush of his tongue against mine. Tears pricked beneath my closed eyes. It was the happiest moment of my life. Rumor has it, you two didn't come back until after dawn. Slay. Slay. Get it, Feyre. Get it, girl. Okay. I'm on page 274, about to start chapter 32. What? Tamlin saved her family. Okay, so Tamlin, being the king that he is, protected Feyre's family, right? Like took care of them, made sure the dad got the money, kept them safe, protected Feyre. I'm not sure how I feel. I have mixed opinions about the glamour. That's what it's called, right? Glamour. Where he like can control what she sees within the specific court. Because since Feyre's our narrator, we only know her perspective, which means we only know what Tamlin allows her to see. Within the spring court, of course. But like, I don't know, something's a little bit off there, which like part of me is like he's just trying to protect her. The other part of me is like he's trying to hide something from her, which is really weird. The fact that Nesta was not... Oh, shoot. I'm supposed to be in an appointment in 3 minutes. Okay, we gotta talk fast. The fact that Nesta went after her and like went to save her or protect her or be there for her, like she comes off so rude. Like she's portrayed really rude, but she's there for her sister. She went after her sister. My heart melted. Sisterhood is like my favorite thing in the entire world. Female friendship and then like actual like sister, like blood related sisterhood. Two of my favorite topics in a book. And I loved that. The glamour thing is kind of throwing me for a loop because it's weird that we're only understanding the book through Feyre's perspective, which is being controlled by Tamlin, which I don't know how I feel about. But as of now, like I have no reason not to trust Tamlin aside from the fact that I've seen people tell me like, girl, you just wait. Like they call him Tampon on TikTok. I don't know why, but there's something. Also Rhysand. I want to call him Rhysand, but I think it's Rhysand. I know because the audiobook helps me pronounce everything and I love the audiobook with my entire heart and soul. But I don't like him, but I recognize that name as well from TikTok. Like I know he's a big role in the books. I will say like I haven't cared at all about ACOTAR TikToks or anything, so I somehow have managed to stay away from spoilers aside from the fact that I know everybody hates Tamlin, which tells me like something big is about to shift because right now I think he's an absolute king. Like I love him, but I know something is about to go wrong because of the discourse around Tamlin. I don't know much about Rhysand, except right now in the book I don't like him. He seems very violent and predatory and I don't particularly enjoy him. He's from the Night Court, correct? So the Night Court is all the way at the top and then its Spring Court is all the way at the bottom, right? And then the Mortal Lands are below. I think that's how it works. And he also said, I'll see you at the under the mountain or something. I don't know what that means. And I also don't know if I'm supposed to know who... I put her name in my notes because I was like, I don't even know. Amarantha? Amarantha? Am I supposed to know who that is? I don't think so. But if I am, I don't know who it is. So I'm going to keep reading here. Like I said, I really have to go to a meeting. Like I'm actually late for it now, so I have to go. But I don't entirely know. How is Tamlin about to fall from grace? What is about to happen? Something bad is about to happen. I know it's coming. Okay, you guys, hold up. Tamlin is using her to break the curse. Am I understanding this correctly? He sent Andreas, was that his name? As like a ploy, dressed as a wolf, to get her to kill him so they could fake this treaty thing, bring her to Perithian, and make her fall in love with him to break the curse with... What? So is he just totally using her? And she goes back to Perithian and everything's just like gone. Like, what is going on? And she's going into these trials, is that what they're called? Whatever it is. I'm stressed. At this point, I don't even know who I trust. Rhysand is a dick. Tamlin I don't trust anymore because he was using her. Feyre, do I even trust her? I have trust issues. What is happening? Okay, I'm gonna keep going because right now she has like 3 things that she has to do on each like full moon. Is that what it was? I don't know. I'm doing my best. I'm not fully remembering and grasping every detail, so if I'm getting things wrong, don't yell at me, but I am doing my best. I feel like it's about to get good. I'm curious what Feyre is going to have to do with like these 3 tasks that she's given to like free the world. I don't know. I just have to keep reading because I'm clearly not able to form coherent sentences right now. I'll be right back. What? Oh my god, you guys, I really thought she was about to have to kill Tamlin, but I knew she wouldn't. His heart is made of stone. The whole from that last point, like where Tamlin was the 3rd body, to the end of the book, I'm just like mind is blown. I have to keep reading now. I have so many books on my August TBR that I'm not going to even be able to touch because I want to continue Boys of Tommen and I want to continue ACOTAR. This is the one part where being like a book content creator is a little bit tricky because I don't want my wrap up to be all like 2 series that I binged in a month. I feel bad because I feel like that's boring. But I want to continue. Like, I really want to start Keeping 13, the 2nd book in Boys of Tommen, and I really want to start A Court of Mist and Fury. That's book 2, right? The green one. Slay for Feyre not dying. I really, really thought they were going to kill her off there at the end when she said, like, the world went to black and everything. That worried me. That actually, like, really scared me. So, Amarantha? Is that how you say her name? I always want to call her Andarna, but that's the dragon in Fourth Wing. Like, I don't know why I want to call her that. But, so she's dead now, right? Like, she's gone. She gone. But she has this pact to see Rhysand, and I know just from, like, the little bits of spoilers that everyone loves Rhysand, and everyone hates Tamlin, and I don't fully get why yet. And some people told me I would understand why at the end of this book, which is making me nervous because I feel like I don't hate Tamlin yet, so like, did I miss something? I might honestly have to go back and read the last couple chapters and maybe even read like the spark notes for the last couple chapters just to make sure I'm like grasping everything before I enter book 2. Sometimes I'll do that if I finish a book and I feel like I didn't fully consume and understand every part of it. Sometimes I'll go back and like read spark notes for it. I'm so sorry if you can hear my dryer in the back. I'm doing laundry. So she's high fae now with a human heart. Right? Isn't that what she said? Like, she still has the guilt of a human heart. And someone said something so sweet to her. Who was it? Was it Tamlin? No, it was Rhysand. He said, the end of chapter 42 is, regardless of his motives or methods, Rhysand was keeping me alive and had done so even before I set foot under the mountain. I've told you too much, blah, 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 blah. And she says, when you healed my arm, you didn't need to bargain with me. You could have demanded every single week of the year. Every single week, and I would have said yes. And he says, I know. And he walks away. I lied. He doesn't walk away. He vanishes because he's cool. When he says, I didn't want you to fight alone or die alone, because that's what she had said with the fairy that was dying in the like earlier chapters. And he said that to her. I was like, my heart, my heart, my heart. Oh my gosh. And when he says, be glad of your human heart, Feyre, pity those who don't feel anything at all. I get why people love Rhysand. I get it. He was a dick for a little bit, but I really get it. I don't fully get the Tamlin hate yet, but maybe I'm missing something. Or maybe it just happens in book 2. I don't know. I think I'm going to give this 4 stars. It would be higher if I didn't feel like it took me forever to read, but now that I'm in the world and I feel like this book was mainly world building, I feel like books 2 through 5 are going to be rated a little bit higher. Specifically book 2 I've heard phenomenal things about, so we shall see. I am excited to continue the series, but I think I'm going to settle on a 4-star for this one. Really great for getting me into the world and definitely something I want to continue, which is a good sign. But it was a little bit challenging at times. Like I had to read and reread and reread. This took me like a week to get through, which is a really long time for me. I read books pretty quickly. So because of that and the confusion, which is my own fault, I think I would give it a 4-star. But I did really enjoy it. Please let me know if you want this to become like a series as I read the entire ACOTAR series. I can do vlogs for each book, but definitely let me know in the comments what you want to see, or if there's any other specific book vlogs that you want to see, let me know. I kind of like doing a full vlog dedicated to a specific book. I was gonna do Binding 13 and all my footage got deleted. So if you were waiting for Binding 13, I am so sorry. Blame technology. Honestly, blame me. It was probably my fault, but anyways, I digress. That is all for the ACOTAR vlog. Thank you for pushing me to read this. Thank you to the girls in my book club that have been buddy reading with me and just kind of encouraging me throughout this. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Make sure you're following me on all the things. Join the book club if you want to. And make sure you're subscribed. Everything is down below as always. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye, book besties.